Hi, welcome to the video. My name is That Ginger, or you can just call me Ginger. This is my first long video on YouTube, so bear with me. Today we're going to be doing some Happy Home Paradise Designer with Dotty. So Dotty wants a floral greenhouse vibe, so we've decided to go kind of ranch, woodland, very natural kind of theme. That's what I'm going for anyway. Whether or not that happens or not, we will see. So yeah, the way I like to do these builds is I will just throw everything down. I will go through the catalogue, pick everything that I want in whatever colours and just throw it all on the floor and then organise it after. I apologise if that's a little bit chaotic. I don't know how other people build. How do you build? Do you do it item by item or do you throw everything down and organise it after? I find by throwing everything down, I'm getting a picture of what I want, if that makes sense. These round topiaries, it really annoys me because it doesn't go with the theme at all, but it's one of those items that Dotty wants, so Dotty gets it. I also can't complete the build without putting it down, so, you know, there's that. So I'm just going through and choosing all the colours for everything. The flower display case is another must-have item for Dotty, so I'm putting that in. This bonsai shelf I absolutely love. I think it's perfect for all kinds of builds. You can put it in anywhere, whether it's in the garden, inside, goes everywhere. Now this garden wagon, you will see as the video goes on, I changed my mind about multiple times. It's one of those items that I feel, because of the colours, it looks quite rustic, but then the flowers give it more of a modern aesthetic, and I'm just indecisive about it. There I put the display case around the wrong way, so I had to turn that around. The greenhouse I absolutely love as well. I wish it was a little bit more customizable, or we had different options, like a skinnier one. Because I absolutely love it, but putting more than one in just looks a little bit strange. So I forgot to change the colour of the other topiary, so we're going to do that. I don't even know if I'm saying that word right. Topiary? Topiary? I don't know. How do you say it? Help. Okay, so next I decided to add in some pathing. Do you know the other thing that annoys me? Right, this isn't a video where I just moan about all of the building in Animal Crossing, I promise. But why is it on these plots that the house never sits central to the main entrance? You'll see me in a minute struggle with this because I was like, I don't know what to do with it now. It's not central and it must be central. So I never know how to go around that. Sometimes I'll put the house completely off centre to make it look like it's meant to be like that. But yeah, it kind of annoys me a little bit that it's not central. So we've gone for this wood decking because, again, I'm going for this natural feel. I felt like that fit better with the surrounding pine trees as well. I think it gives it a really good look. And then I was looking for a fence to just kind of break the two sections apart because I'm not going to do the pathing on the whole build. So I was just trying to look for a fence to break it up a little bit. But as you can see, I was being extremely indecisive. Then decided I didn't want that fence there either. So all the fencing is now gone. We've actually taken a step back. Just jiggling some things around because I have an idea what I want to do behind the house. I don't tend to push the house all the way to the back because I kind of like to decorate behind it, whether it's with trees or as I'm doing here with the hedge fencing. I feel like it just looks better, in my opinion. So the fence actually goes behind the house, because if you stop it just by the house, it just looks strange. yeah, so I added the hedge in the front as well, but I just didn't like it. I thought it was a lot of hedge. So we're just playing around with some different fencing. I don't like that one either. Don't like it there either. I wish that you could put the fencing on where the decking ends, rather than it having to be either on the decking or on the grass. Do you know what I mean? I wish you could have it on the boundary, like a half space. But there we go, you know, I have a lot of wishes for Animal Crossing. I've been playing Animal Crossing for quite a long time now. And I think it's like with every game, it's never going to have everything that you want in it. But as long as you enjoy still playing it, that's what matters. So yeah, these bits I'm just putting in now, the pump and the tap. The hose would have looked really nice in like a more brown colour, but I decided to stick with the green. These gnomes, I absolutely love these gnomes. I want to do like a garden just full of gnomes. Is that weird? Oh well. I think they're amazing, and there's so many different varieties, and the different colours have different faces, and all of that I think is great. So yeah, we stuck with the green for the hose because it still goes with the bench and the flower display case, because I don't want everything brown. Yeah, so now I've gone back to this garden wagon where I'm like, oh, let's change the colour of it, that'll make it fit in. And then I put it there, and I think we've just left it there for a minute. I've decided to extend the decking out to the left-hand side. So we've got like the whole top section being the decking. Kind of a half and half. Having to move the tree out of the way because obviously you can't put decking underneath a tree. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. But do you know, I love the amount of accessories we have for decor, especially for outdoor spaces. I mean, this is the first Animal Crossing game where we've been able to decorate outside fully. So having all of these pieces to be able to decorate with is amazing. I absolutely love it. So I've just hid that tap up the back there. I know you can't really see it, but it just fills the gap. I didn't really know what else to put in the gap. I'm quite bad at gap filling. I tend to have a lot of the same item if I'm needing to fill a lot of gaps. Like if I'm doing a really cluttered build, I end up using the same item multiple times. It's one thing that I really struggle with. So I'm just popping in some more trees and bushes. And the other thing I love about the Happy Home Designer DLC is the fact that you can change the tree's growth stages. There, I accidentally deleted the tree. Because sometimes I get confused by my controls. But yeah, so you can completely change the growth stages of the different trees. So you can make the cute little pine trees, or even the tree stumps. The tree stumps are perfect for builds because, again, you can put a lot of items on them. The characters can sit on them, and they make beautiful photos. So I really, really like that. I don't really use the sapling stage for the trees very much, but the tree stumps definitely, especially if you're doing a more natural kind of build. I'm just jiggling things around now because I sometimes forget how much space trees need. And the growth stages also apply to the bushes. So you can completely change whether the bush is flowering or not, at what stage it's flowering, which I think, again, is amazing. I think the fact that we have bushes is fantastic, and the variety of bushes as well. So you can see I've just taken the berries off of this one because this is a holly bush that I've put down because I think it gives a really woodland feel, you know. Not that this is a woodland build, but we have situated the house in a woods. So we've kind of got that vibe going on. That wagon is still getting on my nerves, so I've just deleted it now. Now deciding where to put the tree because I feel like it's in the way. So I've got rid of it. So yeah, just playing around with the bush growth stages. So now you can see that I've left them on the, like, the pre-berry stage. I don't really know what the words are for it. In real life, I absolutely hate gardening. But in games, the garden is my favourite place to build. Don't ask me how that works. There's too many bugs in real life gardens and I don't like bugs. Anyway, we're back to fencing again. This is the only trouble I have with where I dump everything down and then move it around. I go back and forth so much. So I'm not the most efficient builder. I constantly change my mind as well, as you can see by the video. So yeah, we've just put the hedge fence back in because I think it looks nice now against the decking. See what I mean? I change my mind all the time. And we're just adding in some dirt because I think it gives it a bit more of a rustic, natural look to it, especially where we're just going to have trees and plants there mainly. Yeah, these leaf piles I love as well, and you've got the cherry blossom variety, which will look absolutely beautiful, especially on the stone pathing. Absolutely amazing. Really good way to add a pop of colour to your builds as well, for outdoors. This video is split into 2 parts, so we've done the outside in part 1, and in part 2 we're going to do the inside, because inside is 2 stories as well. And I recorded it and the video was an hour long, and didn't know if that was a little bit too long. So we've split it down into 2 parts. This garden furniture that I'm putting out now, I absolutely adore the iron garden furniture, and I was tempted to change the bench out, but I love that bench because of the 2 tones. Whereas the iron garden bench is just pure one colour, and I thought it would just be a little bit too much green. So decided to keep the brown and green bench that we've got down there now. I'm just scrolling through looking for anything else that's going to fit in the garden. I was tempted by this mushroom stuff because this is a new item for me. But then I thought, do you know what I'd really love? I'd really love to do like a fairy tale build with a mushroom garden, and I think that would look really, really nice. So I've stayed away from the mushroom stuff because I would like to use that for a future build. Then I was looking at this left-hand side and I was like, do you know what, that looks really plain. We need some height there, but obviously I can't put a tree in because I've put the decking down. So we've gone for, I think this is the ash tree. Yeah, the evergreen ash. So I've popped that up there. It just adds a little bit of height, where I can't really put anything else there. But this mushroom furniture is absolutely stunning. The white one and the red and white one, absolutely beautiful. I love that. As you can tell, I've got a little bit stuck on what to choose. A lot of the time I forget what's in the catalogue. I've grown my catalogue a lot since starting to play, and I just forget what's there. So half the time I end up aimlessly scrolling through looking for something that will go with the build. Now I ended up going with this smoker. It doesn't necessarily fit the vibe, but the look of it fits the vibe. So I decided to go with that. We did it in the green. There's becoming to be a lot of green. I think you're seeing the colour scheme on this build, which is green and brown. Not the most exciting colours, but I think it looks quite nice. That minecart was completely new to me when I looked through the catalogue. I've never seen that before in my life. The well is beautiful as well. On the different colour options, it looks absolutely stunning. I usually have it in the red roof colour, but decided to keep it natural for this one. Just putting a little seating area out on that dirt section, I didn't really know what else to do there, and I thought we've got one bench. So let's add another little seating area. It's purely decorational because you can't actually get to it, so... the tree stump's in the way. But it just, honestly, it just fills a gap. So, moving that tree stump around again. What else have we got to put down? There's a lot of food items as well, which is excellent for decoration, especially for tables. Like, in old games, there wasn't really, in old Animal Crossing games, there wasn't really anything like that. So that's really good. That's really different. There's definitely a lot more detail in New Horizons when it comes to customizing and building and decorating. There's so much more options. Like, I've been playing Animal Crossing for like 15 years. Yes, I'm old. But I've been playing it since Wild World came out. And it used to be so basic. Up until New Leaf, you couldn't put anything outside. And even in New Leaf, it was only public works projects. So you had a select few items that you could go and put down outside, but that was it. You couldn't put furniture outside. But yeah, even with those, you were extremely limited on how many you could put out. So New Horizons has definitely been a focus on decorating, and it'd be interesting to see what they do with the new Animal Crossing, which I'm hoping should be out in a couple of years with the announcement of the new Nintendo console coming through. Animal Crossing tends to follow pretty quickly. So I'm just looking through some decoration items now because we've got the main parts of the build done. So I've decided to add in a couple of buckets because this is a very garden orientated build. You need buckets. All gardeners have buckets. But we've even got 2 different types of buckets. You can never have too many buckets. And if I say buckets once more, I'm going to drive myself mad. So we're going to move on from buckets. And we're going to find something else. I have no idea why I've paused on this billiard table, because I don't want a billiard table. Oh, that's why. I was thinking what I could do with a campfire. Now, we're just going to put these buckets into place. The thing that I would recommend if you're going to start doing all of this Happy Home Designer stuff and builds, or you're building on your own island, make use of the custom designs. Sorry, the word left my brain then. Because you can do so much with custom designs, and it can change your build drastically. So it takes a blank space like I've got there, and I'm just going to add something on it so that it's not just a plain space. I've seen people put down picnic blankets and, you know, little stones here and there, and it just adds a little bit of extra character to your build. And because there are so many custom designs, you can make your own, or there's websites absolutely full of them. There is so much that you can do that it is literally limitless. If you want any of the codes that I have used in this build today, I think this is the only one that I've used. Oh no, I did use another one. If you want any of the codes for them, let me know and I'll pop it down in the comments. So yeah, I built a little campfire area, and I think if you just had the campfire there on its own, it would look rather odd. But adding the stones around it, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be there, and it's a proper little campfire. The other thing I love with the custom designs are these borders. So these borders you can use like I've used it here. It's the edging for a garden, or you can get ones to go around the path. This one actually looks really pretty to go around a path. Especially if you're using dirt paths or whatever. A lot of people would prefer the original Animal Crossing pathing. So the way that paths used to work in Animal Crossing is you would wear down your own path. So if you repeatedly walked the same way to the shop, for example, if you walk the same way to Nook's Cranny all the time, it would eventually wear away the grass and you'd have a patch of dirt that would make a path. A lot of people complained about that. They didn't really like it. So they've made that nearly impossible to do in New Horizons. So people have made their own dirt path patterns, which are all windy, and, you know, you can get ones with flowers on and mushrooms and all that. So if you're going for an even more natural build than what I've done here, you can use those custom designed dirt paths. But there's so many out there. There's so many different types of pathing. It's brilliant. It really is. And with the custom designs as well, if you are struggling for slots, you get the same amount of slots on each character. So if you need more custom design slots, make another character on your island. So I'm just adding in some flowers. We're just going to go with the traditional flowers, colour-wise. I didn't want to stray into like the blues and the purples, so we've kept it mainly yellow, red and white. I've even added in a couple of weeds. Now the interesting thing as well is you can change the growth stage of the weeds as well. So you can have them as tiny little grass sprouts, they kind of look like, or you can have them fully grown weeds. They also look different in different seasons, which is good to note. Because you can change the seasons. If you've not played Happy Home Paradise, you can change the season of which you're building in, which is really helpful. So I just turned that campfire on just to give the overall look. And I nearly forgot to actually do the house. So again, we're going to go kind of natural themed. So we've gone for what is essentially the log cabin, but we're not going to make it a log cabin. One thing that slightly frustrates me about the houses is none of the colours match. So, for example, the sliding will be a different shade of blue to the doors. Do you know what I mean? So I'm doing like a really natural build, and then I click on that door that looks brown and it's practically orange. But there we go. I'm just going to add a door plate, and that is the build complete for Dotty. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Join us next week for part 2 where we do the interior. Take care. Bye.